Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Big Jor in the building. Today I'm with one of my day one homies, Allan Carolina. Literally, I just posted a video with Lucky Limitless, another podcast that I did, and I mentioned Allan in it. This was the dude that I met while I was still in Curacao. We grew up from Curacao na stay home.
Big up.
He is a motivational speaker, fitness coach, life coach, spiritual coach. Definitely in my hard times. I think you guys know my past already. I've been through a lot of traumas. He was like the day one coach that was really coaching me and helping me get through my things and being just a true, genuine friend. So yeah, man. Allan, do you want to like say anything, like to talk to the people? Just introduce yourself. You know what I mean? Let's go with, bro. Let's get it, bro.
Yeah, man. Good to be here. My name is Allan Carolina. Like you said, I'm a lifestyle coach, fitness coach, sports coach, massage therapy, health and well-being has always been one of my passions. Grew up on Curacao. Of course, that's where we met each other. We formed the brotherhood. So yeah, man, good to be here. Good to be here, and good to be catching up after quite some time again with you again.
Yeah, man. How long has it been since we talked, bro? Or like properly caught up? I would say like, or like, have you seen each other? Last time we saw each other was like 3 years ago in the Netherlands,
For
I think,
sure.
while I was still living there.
Yeah, for
man.
sure. I think even more, man, because I haven't been living in Curacao now for 5, close to 6 years. So
That's been a minute, man.
yeah, man, that's 2021.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to link up with Allan so we can just talk about a few topics, catch up with our lives as well, and also like the biggest thing that I would like to emphasize is that this is really my day one homie. So back in Curacao, when nobody believed in me with my content creation, Allan was really like the first person that took me in terms of friends, because I wasn't really with the best in the best environment friend group wise, and I really had to take a step back and really decide who were the people that I would like to be around me, and Allan was like the number one person in that spot, man. He just opened his life spa back then as well. That was his first business, I think. He was already living in the Netherlands. He came back, we connected, and from there we just kept creating, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
And of course, Jordan
I
has
would like
been
to dive into. Oh, go ahead.
no, Jordan has been a pinnacle, for me on Curacao as well. Apart from the brotherhood, of course, with the marketing of the life spa, marketing of the services, the fitness things, events that we organize together, training people together, so we were connected, not only with the brotherhood, but also like business partners.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Hopefully in the future, if life puts us together again, I would love to work with you again, bro. But
Likewise,
for
man.
today, let's
Likewise.
just bro. Hey, appreciate it. But for today, let's just go into the topics that we have lined up. First of all, is scarcity mentality. For me personally, especially while we were in Curacao, it was during Corona when everything started. For me, I was going through reflections of relationships, of business, of like my point in life, and it got to the point where I started, but at the same time, because I didn't have the proper support system, of course I had Allan and the boys, but still it wasn't the best place, because what I wanted to bring wasn't something that was popping, and also collectively the entire island was going through a time of fear, scarcity. You can't go outside. Your freedom got took away. So I feel like we together tackled a lot of scarcity mentality in that time. If you weren't there, I don't know, I would easily would have fallen into a depression, man. How has scarcity mentality in general affected your life? How is it impacting it today and compared to back in Curacao? And what were the tools you incorporated in order to keep a positive mindset in terms of mental growth?
Yeah, man, that's a good question, because of course, like you said, it all started in COVID times, which was kind of like collectively a time of a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of doubts, I had big plans for the life spa when I opened in January 2020. I saw the whole vision, with the clients, approaching organizations, hotels, companies, all these things, to really get the massage thing going. But in March 2020, when the COVID started, and everything kind of shut down, I think massage business was one of the worst businesses that you could be in, because that's physical touch, so that was really a difficult time. And it felt like everything I have been working for years to come to the point of having my own business was kind of like taken away in just like a month. You know what I mean? With the whole COVID thing. So that was a time of a lot of mental anxiety. The brotherhood was really really important for me because it felt like we were all in it together. You know, even though all these things were going on, we had each other. You know, I remember us getting together. We would go eat at one of our friends' house, Jane, and then she would cook for all of
Yeah,
us. You
Jay.
know, so
Shout out to Jay,
shout
number
out
one
to Jane.
supporter.
A lot of love to her.
Yeah.
You know, we all bought food together. You know, cooked together. So I think having that support really, really helped, even though the scarcity mindset was very strong. And yeah, after COVID, I just made the decision to go to another island. I went to Saba at that time in 2021,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and there I could offer what I had to offer. So the education around fitness, nutrition, massage therapy, and such. So sometimes it's not what you have to offer, but it's location, it's the environment. Are the people willing to also embrace what you have to offer? And if you're not in the right environment, you can always make the choice to, hey, let's go to a different place where I can, give what I have to give and receive,
Oh, I have a question, bro.
a good income for
Oh,
that.
oh, yeah, go. Yeah, 100%. Sorry, bro. Quick question. In terms of it working better in Saba, compared to Curacao, do you think it had to do that with one that you grew up in Curacao and that when people see you as a kid and they have a certain projection that they put on you, and then when you start something new, they don't understand it, which also relates to they not really supporting it, in combination with the COVID, and put that in contrast with you moving to Saba and there it has been working while people don't know you and also while you're also outside of the COVID pandemic that was going on. Do you think it was the location? Do you think it was the because you grew up in Curacao? What was the main factors that made you decide, you know what? Or this was the things that were holding me back from success that I did get receive in Saba that you didn't receive in Curacao. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good question, man. And I think it's a combination of both of them. I always say, I've always experienced that, it's even written down. You're never a prophet in your own land, because people grow up, they see you. It's like, yeah, Alan, I went to kindergarten with this guy. I went to primary school with this guy. So even though you can be really, really good at what you're doing, people still have this past image or vision of you of what they knew back then. So they're never gonna give you fully that respect and validation, whereas you would get that in places where they don't know you. So I experienced that for sure because when I got on Saba, I'm a new guy, so I have to make my name there, and everybody gets to know you for your skills, your talents, your strengths, because they don't have a past reference of you in their mind. So you can more easily grow professionally, and with status and things like that in places that people don't know you. So I experienced that for sure. So that's one side of the story. The other side of the story was also that, for Saba, I was working for the government where they did have finances and subsidies to invest in health prevention. Whereas on Curacao, that's not the case. So
Okay.
it's a combination of those two things that made
I would
me.
say wrong. Oh, so go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a combination of those two things that really made that I was doing better professionally, financially, on all these things. And I did notice that living now like 5-6 years from Curacao, that I'm growing so much professionally. Now people in Curacao really see like, oh yeah, wow, this guy is actually really good at what he's doing. Look how much respect he's getting, internationally and outside of Curacao. And when you go back to Curacao now, they see you with different eyes.
Yeah, that's I've experienced the exact same thing, man. It's crazy. But I think also that also shows that how can I say, traveling is the best thing you can do to expand your network, not only your
Definitely.
mindset, not only your own development, but just in general, man. Yeah, people should travel more. I think like a lot of people grow up in the same place, stay the same place, stay with the same group of friends, but It's only putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, and that will actually make you grow. I was literally talking to Lucky about this yesterday, or like the podcast that I posted. Okay, let me see if there's any other topic that is relevant that we can dive into, man. Is there anything you would like to bring up, man? Actually, I don't have access to the chat. Can you please double check and choose one of the best options in terms of topic, bro?
Yeah, man. I think addition.
Let me start with myself first to give an example. Maybe for me, I thought I knew everything, bro. I thought that the mind, like I'm this perfect dude that has talent, that can everybody should respect me, and that I should, how can I say that, shouldn't be prove myself in order for people to accept me. But at the end of the day, you're still in a foreign land. People don't know you. You don't know even the culture yourself. And for me personally, it's by, even when somebody tells me that I'm wrong, I would always look at it from a lens of, okay, at the end of the day, there's still a conflict that's going on here, and the only thing that I can control is my reaction. I think a lot of people, when, especially when they receive feedback, the first thing they be like, no, 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 no. I actually saw that in a podcast yesterday. Macklemore said that if somebody's giving you feedback and your reaction is no, 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 then it's probably a good feedback, because a part of you doesn't want to hear it for your own personal growth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think for my perspective, yeah, I really had to learn to be patient with the process. I was always a dreamer. I could always see the big vision. But back then, you know, prior to traveling and getting outside of Curacao and such, I did not have a realistic view of how much work and time certain things take. You know what I mean? To give you a practical example, I always saw the vision of having a wellness center. You know, a center where people can come, to have meditation, massage, yoga, fitness, everything in one building. So I was always like, okay, I have the vision, so this is easy. I already see it in my mind, so it's easy to create that, in the world. But having experienced these 5-6 years, that hey, you want to offer these things, you need to study them, So I went to Holland, I studied there. I went to India, I studied there, So it takes time to acquire, this knowledge and this experience to grow professionally and network, and especially financially, I mean, back then you think like, yeah, $1 million, by next year I'll have that shit and I can easily implement this and that. But it takes time, bro.
But actually, this also makes me look back at myself as well in terms of just having a business, bro. It's not simply you putting up a tent, putting a product and a service and selling it. It's also managing your clients, knowing which kind of energy you're putting in, investing in the company itself, knowing what kind of clients you decide to work with.
Definitely, bro.
Because bro, you know what I noticed myself? The clients are a direct mirror to who you are as a person. So let's say, for instance, if I have a service and a product that I'm offering to the world, and I'm working with people that have, like you say, how can I say, they have bad habits in terms of something that I don't want in my life. Just because I think that, he's just using, or she's just using my product or service, it's just a monetary thing. At the end of the day, it's energy. And every single person you come into contact with, you share the energy, and especially with business. So I personally became very mindful of with whom I do business.
Definitely, bro.
Is this a person I really want to hang? Can I hang out with this person if we're not doing business? Is this a person that I can call when I have a issue? Of course, you should have boundaries with different kind of relationships, but the first thing should be, do I like this person? And if I feel good around this person, then I do business. But if I feel like the energy is not right, even if you're willing to give me 100K, I will not accept it, because I know that energy will impact me negatively in the future.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's you know what I mean? Yeah, it's an energetic exchange when you're interacting with people, especially long term. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're just selling a product, anyone can come in your store, buy the product, and get out. But if it's a service that you have to invest more time and energy and things like that, yeah, then you should definitely be conscious who you interact with. That's for sure.
Thank you, bro. Actually, you just made me realize as well, because I'm more a content creator and service driven. I should be more mindful. But if you have something that's more wholesale wise, then it's possible to put that barrier up of
Yeah, exactly.
hey,
Because then it's less
yeah,
personal, you know? Someone can just come in your store, in your shop, whatever the case might be, you know? Could be the most toxic person, but they buy the product and they're out. They don't really
I think,
interact with you so much, you know what I mean? But service based, I would definitely
I
be
think,
very mindful
yeah,
how you spend
yeah.
your energy.
But in general, I think the beginning part of a business also, with a lot of like creators and businessmen, I see it. That's definitely the girlfriend. That was 100% the girl. That's not the way
You
you look
fucking
like
call
that.
it. You call it.
Yeah, I see it.
Called
I
it,
see
100%.
it. Yeah, bro. Nah, but wow, that literally shifted the entire energy in the room, bro. Crazy. But you know what's funny? That's the same thing like when, let's say, two dudes are talking and we're having a deep conversation and a baddie walks past. Bro, mid sentence we both be like, dude. Anyway,
Yeah,
man,
these are
crazy.
things that we've experienced, of course, though. It's kind of
Yeah,
like, you
do
know,
you want to
having a
yeah,
having an
yeah,
in-depth talk with the bros, you know, 4 or 5 guys, you know, really getting
yeah.
into it, and then it's like a 5 second, 10 second silence. Yeah.
Hey, bro, listen to this. So like I think like 2 weeks ago I was hanging out just in this park, bro, and there was like this sign with a bunch of advertisement on it, like two touristy things, and there was like these five dudes standing there. Bro, literally there was this one girl. I was sitting at the stair and she walked down the stair, and the tourist thing was right in front of my line of vision looking down the stairs. So all of a sudden, the girl walks past me and goes by, and there's this five dudes coming this way towards the stair, and the billboard was like in front of the vision of the stairs as well. All of a sudden, I see these five dudes looking at the billboard. Yeah, man, maybe we can. I'll be like, y'all slimy, grimy mother effers.
Of course.
Because I think that guys have a certain language that is unspoken language that only we can understand. You know what I mean, bro?
Unspoken. We get it from a mile away. That's exactly how it is.
100%, man. 100%. In terms of how is it going with your diet, with working out, with keeping yourself healthy? What has been working for you like recently, and what advice can you give to the people as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Good question. Good question. I think, you know, like fitness and nutrition is fundamental for any person, but definitely a man, you know? That's the fuel for your vitality and your testosterone, you know? And for you to have energy to, you know, perform and invest into the world. So I take that very, very seriously. I work out every day, mostly, even if it's
Nice,
half an
bro.
hour, you know? And I always recommend the basics. If you don't have any tools, any equipments, nothing like that, if you do push-ups and you cover the upper body, pull-ups, ab exercises, and some form of legs, whether that's squats or lunges, one leg lunges, deadlifts, whatever the case might be. Compound movements, you're already good, man. So I have a rule.
Perfect, bro.
I do like 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 squats. Even if those three things are the only things you do every single day, you will already have a strong basis when it comes to fitness.
That's beautiful, bro.
You know, to really strengthen the body, but also strengthen the mind. I always say, if you can master the body, you will master the mind. If you don't have
100%.
dominion or control over the body, you can forget it. You will never be able to control or master your mind. So yeah, man, fitness is a really, really nice way to create that discipline, to create that resilience, committing yourself to one thing every single day. And nutrition as well, you know, you have to control what goes into your mouth. So yeah, I keep it really basic, but also solid, you know, mostly organic, a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, a lot of nuts, a lot of grains, rice, you know, the basics, clean protein. And yeah, making sure to hydrate every single day. So I think if you have those two things under control, your fitness and your nutrition, you already have a very, very solid frame as a man, you know?
Oh, thank you
So
so
I like,
much, bro.
yeah, man, I like
Yeah.
to start my way in that sense. If you work out in the morning, one of the first things that you do, I wake up usually, I have my meditation every single morning, and then on most days, I might skip a day or two, but on most days I do have my workout in the morning, and then you already started the day great. Anything that comes afterwards, is already a plus, but you have a solid beginning of the day.
I got this actually. Thank you so much for sharing, bro. This is one of my boys, Taivelli. So in Lisbon, I met up with like 3 high-level dudes, bro. Taivelli, Abhishek, and Govinder. And yeah, bro, these dudes took me in kinda, and they also reminded me of how you took me in back in Curacao. I'm talking about good habits, bro. Literally, this dude had this man, the Way of the Superior Man book as well. If any of you dudes are
Classic.
struggling with life, go read that book, The Way of the Superior Man. Change your life. Crazy. But what I like the most of what you just said, bro, is that the body and taking care of your body is the most important thing. And this is gonna relate back to something, a story I want to tell. The reason why I left the Netherlands, actually. I got to this point where I was making 4 or 5K a month. I had this nice apartment. Everything was going smoothly, but I was just working night shifts, bro. I stopped working out. I started drinking every day. I gained like 10 kgs, bro. And just mentality, bro. I just fell off so deep, bro. Crazy. And I literally see it as a correlation of like the more I was chasing the money, not doing what I love, not taking care of my body, the money was going up, but the mental health, everything was going down, bro.
Exactly.
Like the depression in a pill. You remember the story about the girl. You remember the story about the girl I told you? So guys, there was this one girl, most beautiful girl I ever met in the Netherlands. Slept with her. At the end of it, I never felt as empty as I did because
Completely
I had the
drained.
apartment, I had the money, I had the physical, and back then I was still fit. That was the tipping point towards the depression. Actually, that was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, man.
Because I have all of these things, but it didn't. It was empty, bro.
Yeah, empty,
So the most
unfulfilled.
the most important thing nowadays is your health, your relationships, man. Your relationship with God, for sure. Because like, at the
Definitely,
end of
bro.
the day, we can have all the plans in the world, but at the end of the day, is only God that's the one that can push us through life and just make us feel real fulfillment that comes from fulfilling what its purpose is on earth. Not on some, I want to knock on people's door, tell you to believe in God. I just want everybody to look within themselves. What is your purpose on this
Exactly.
earth? And just make sure that every day you're doing it. And the first thing to do in order to do that is taking care of your body. Because at the end of the day, your body is a vessel for inspiration to flow through into the world. So if you're not taking
Absolutely,
care of your
brother.
body, then you're gonna draw the wrong inspirations. You feel me, bro?
Absolutely.
So,
Those are
yeah, man.
those are definitely the 4 pillars. Starting with the physical, the physical development or physical empowerment, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And using those pillars, I'm also creating a coaching program right now for men that has
Nice,
actually
bro.
5 pillars. The financial
Okay.
development also incorporated in that, because it's also a very, very essential and important pillar to have in a man's life. Provision, providing for yourself, and later on as a king, for your family, for your woman, all these things. So if you have those 5
100%.
pillars mastered, you can become a very, very solid empowered man. So sorry.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to thank you. Actually, sorry that I'm cutting you. I wanted to thank you because during the years that we kept in contact, you always told me, "Oh, yeah, I send money to my mom every month. I think also this correlates with what you say. I also started transferring money to my mom every month, and as a man, bro, it feels so fulfilling because at the end of the day, we are as men are built to be providers.
Definitely,
And
man.
the more you take care of the people around you, I notice, the happier I am mentally. Because at the end of the day, if people are thinking about you and they get a good thought, oh, this da 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 da, you will also get that energy, and that
That's
will
what I'm
make you
saying.
go even harder to make even more. So you have to take care of your community, man.
That's
It's about
what I'm
community
saying.
as well. It's not only about just me. I want a Lambo, da 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 da. No, it's about also having that family around you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
G?
family, community,
It's
such
like
an
we are
important
social
element.
beings. We are built to be together, man.
Yeah. It's part of our natural blueprint, man. And provision not only means finances, you know. Provision is also investing time, investing energy, investing attention, investing care, love into the people around you. You know what I mean? Because you can be a man, you know, that you can be a millionaire, a billionaire, and if only you provide money, people are gonna feel empty and unfulfilled next to you, man. You know, so it's
Yeah.
presence that is the most important thing that you can provide for people around you. You know, to be fully there with them energetically, and the money thing is also a very important thing, but we have to see provision as a much broader thing as a man, you know.
Oh, quick question. Segueing into that, personally, how do you handle? Because I'm the kind of person as well. I want to take care of everybody, but sometimes you get into certain relationships where you'll be like, you know what? Actually, this is more draining than fulfilling for myself. How do you balance out which people to keep in the inner circle, and how do you manage relationships outside that you really don't want to be in the inner circle, but you still have to be around? You know what I mean? Sometimes you also have that situation. How would you handle? How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's a very important question, man. And I think you have to be intuitive and mindful of who is in your inner circle and who is, you know, in the circles more, you know, outside of that inner circle. So inner circle, I mean like you know, family, and in the sense of people that you're actually close with. So not really blood related only, but people that actually get you, you know, on a soul level. People that you can really look eye to eye and that you feel like,
100%.
hey, this person also fills me with energy. It's not only an energy taker, but this person can also provide me with love, care, energy when I need that. So that's your inner circle. Whether that's you know your woman or your brothers, whatever the case might be. But this is a soul connection. Outside of that, you can have like, you know, friends and acquaintances that you have a good connection, you know, it's a positive relationship, but this is not someone that you will like put your soul on the table, because you know you're not gonna share on that
Yeah,
level with that type of person.
or bring home. That's also something I noticed. Like the people you bring to your home, to your nest, also impact you so much. It's you gotta be mindful who
Very
you bring
much,
home as
man,
well,
very
man.
much. You know, you have to be very mindful what type of energy someone brings into your life, you know. So you have the inner circle, then outside of that you have a circle of people that you're close with, and maybe outside of that you have, you know, your colleagues and acquaintances, people that you maybe work with or interact with, but that you wouldn't really call a friend, but you still have a positive
Yeah.
interaction with them, you know. But you have to be very
Oh,
mindful then, okay,
no, go ahead.
who do I really invest what type of time, what type of energy into it, and who do I trust with certain things, who do I allow fully in my space, you know. So it's not because like, okay, we're colleagues so we have to invite each other out, you know, every Friday you can chill at my home. No way. If I don't have that
Yeah.
soul connection with you, this is not gonna happen. So I think you have to
Yeah.
tap into your own intuition and inner guidance as to who, you know, you allow certain, yeah, privilege in your life.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that was also an aspect that I've been kind of battling with. But based on what you said, it also like cleared it up a bit. Besides that, also we're forgetting one person that will always be there for you till the day you die. Do you know who it is?
One person that will always be there for you until you die.
Okay, one being, one being, one being.
One being.
We already talked about it, bro. Yeah.
Are we talking about God here?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Of
sir.
course.
Yes, sir.
That's fundamental. That's where
Yeah,
everything
that's in the
begins.
middle.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely,
pillar,
absolutely.
bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
bro.
think, you know, your relationship with God is the source of everything, brother. I mean, you know, whether that's through prayer, through meditation, through, you know, whatever you use to really have that moment, but that's essential. That's why I told you, before I do anything for myself during the day, the first thing I do is meditate. You know what I mean? Because that's how you
Beautiful,
really
bro.
connect
Yeah.
to that source, to the creator, you know? And I think if that relationship is good, it's going to radiate into all other aspects of your life, you know?
Beautiful, bro.
And something
Bro.
beautiful that I always share with my woman as well is that, you know,
Ooh.
I see this triangle, you know, first and foremost is the relationship with God, afterwards the relationship with yourself, and then as third is the relationship with your partner. Because if you have that order, naturally it flows down and trickles down out of abundance, you know? I don't put myself before God. I don't put, don't put the woman before you, because if your bucket is not full, you can't give her out of your abundance, you know what I mean? So
Beautiful, bro.
if you have that trinity, man, you're good. You're solid.
Beautiful, bro. I really like the way you conceptualized it and visualized it to make it sense. I think it's also about putting boundaries in terms of how you protect your energy and your principles as well. So you would never put certain actions or things that target that principles. You know what I mean? And that's how you keep your peace. You know what I mean? That's how you keep the peace.
Exactly. Absolutely, man. So I think the best thing you can have as a man is, a very strong overview of what your principles are, Because once you have those outlined, I mean, anything that meets you in life, and confronts your principles, you always have something in front that you can say like, hey, does this resonate with who I want to be, what I want to do? Yes or no? If it doesn't, then you shouldn't engage in it. You know what I mean? To give a very practical example, like, let me just use something very simple. Someone comes to you and, and wants to gossip about another person, just to use something on top of my head. I already have a principle that, hey, I don't talk bad or negatively about other people. So if you come with that into my reality, I already know that, hey, this is not something I'm going to engage in. So it's not like in the moment that I have to decide, like, hey, how do I feel about this? Am I going to talk to this person? No, if you come with that, I already know that, hey, we're not going to swing that way. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to partake in that. But if you don't have principles, you don't have roots. A wind can blow and then you don't know what you have to do. You know what I mean? The principles are the roots that keep you solid in who you are as a man.
100%. Okay, Allan, I think we've spoken for 30 minutes now. Thank you so much. So many gems were dropped. You are the freaking GOAT, my G. Inspiration to a lot of people. Myself, you're still my role model, bro. You feel me? No homo. Love today, people. Listen to this, bro. So,
from the heart.
So I just posted a video stating that I'm not a homophobe because I look back and there's this one song that I dropped, right? There's this one song I dropped. I say, I'll take a bullet for my homie, but no homo. If you listen to it, I'm saying I'm taking a bullet for my homie, but no homo. That means like I would take it for my homie, but I wouldn't take it for a gay guy or gay person. I think a lot of people had that in their minds, and I was like, you know what? Let me just say it just in case. It means I will take a bullet for my homie, but I wouldn't date my homie. That's what I was saying.
Of course. I get what you mean.
Bro. But what I want to ask you, bro, is like, there's a lot of dudes that are still stuck in life, still living with their moms. They're not following their dreams. They're always they worry too much about what other people think about them. So they're paralyzed in this state of, this is what everybody wants me to be. This is me, I guess. I was literally watching a podcast about this. It was Alex Hormozy. He said most people they have like archetypes. They just be like, oh, I'm the guy that wear jeans and tank top and like to make grills. I like to grill and drink beer. You know what I mean? A lot of people have that archetype. Like, how can you have? What is your tip, advice to people that are stuck in generic archetypes that are not happy in those archetypes and really want to be themselves and pursue their dreams? You know what I mean? What is your advice to that person?
That's a beautiful question, man. I think the most concrete and direct thing that I can advise is visualize, man, the life that you want to live. Like if you could really tap into that core of yourself and your being and who you are, what is the life that you actually want to live? What is the character that you ideally want to have as a man? What it is that you want to do profession-wise, career-wise, and that feels really guided. Visualize that. And anything, anyone, in any environment that is disturbing you or hindering you from reaching that full potential, you just know you have to cut it off or develop a different relationship with it, So, for example, to give you a practical example, I always knew from a very young age, bro, okay, I wanted to do something with health and well-being, right? I see myself traveling, I see myself teaching and educating, inspiring, etc. If someone around me had a different perspective of who I needed to be or how my life needed to look, I would already know that, okay, you're not supposed to be in my life or that close to me because you don't resonate with the vision I have for myself. You know what I mean? But if you don't have that vision for yourself, yeah, then anyone or anything can pull you in all these different types of directions. So you need to know first, as a man, who is it that you want to be and what feels guided for you. That's why you need to, you know, the meditation and awareness and pray to have that connection with God and that higher self. Because once you know that, I promise you, man, anything and everything that does not resonate with that, you will just remove it from your life and attract things and people that actually are gonna pull you to the vision that you want for yourself.
Wow, that's beautiful, bro. Bro, that's bro, you the G, bro. I think that was you can't. That was a cherry on top of the cake of everything, bro. So that was beautiful, bro. Thank you so much for your time and energy, bro. Guys, go follow Allan on his socials. He also has a relationship account with his girl, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, that's the holy relationship account, holy / relationship. Be sure to check that out for more information. You know, on a conscious relationship, a healthy relationship, a man's dynamic to his woman in a relationship. So check that out. And as I said, you know, the coaching program will be launching soon, August 1st. Okay. We're gonna launch that with the page as well, with videos directly, solely for men, you know, for empowerment of men.
Okay, check it out, guys. All right, bro. Hey, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, much appreciated, brother. Thanks for the opportunity.
Stay positive, bro. Bless.